Hi everyone, my name is Kaisa, and in this presentation I'll be sharing a case study about a learner named Budi who struggles with English pronunciations. I'll explore his challenges through two language acquisition theories and propose some teaching strategies that might help him. Let's begin. Case overview. Budi is a junior high school student from a rural area. He's good at writing in English, but he avoids speaking because he feels embarrassed about his pronunciations. His classmates often ask him to repeat words and sometimes even laugh, which makes him more anxious. He rarely participates in speaking activities even though he understands the material. This case made me curious, why is pronunciation so hard for him and how can we help? Theory and applications. To understand Budi's pronunciation difficulties, I used two language acquisition theories, behaviorist and cognitivist. The behaviorist theory proposed by B.F. Skinner views language learning as habit formation through repetitions and reinforcement. This theory helps explain why Budi struggles. He may not have received enough consistent feedback or exposure to correct pronunciation patterns. His rural background likely limited his opportunities to imitate native-like speech. The cognitivist theory focuses on mental processes such as perception and memory. It helps us understand that Budi's pronunciation issues may come from difficulties in processing and distinguishing English sounds. Without strong phonological awareness, it's hard for him to produce the accurate speech even though he writes well. By applying these theories, we see that Budi's challenges are not just about speaking practice but also about how he processes language input and forms habit. This understanding guides us in designing better support for him. Case analysis. But theory alone isn't enough. Budi's experience is also shaped by personal and social factors. Individually, Budi is motivated. He writes well and understands English, but his anxiety and fear of being laughed at stop him from speaking. He might be a reflective learner who prefers writing over spontaneous speech. Socioculturally, his classroom has strong power distance. Students rarely speak unless asked, and teasing among peers makes him feel unsafe. Socioeconomically, Budi lives in a rural area with limited access to English input. He rarely hears native pronunciations and doesn't have tools like apps or videos to practice. This affects how he processes and produces sounds. So when we apply behaviorist and cognitivist theories, we also need to consider these real-life factors. They help us understand why Budi avoids speaking, even though he is capable. Teaching strategies. Based on theories I've discussed, I believe Budi needs both structures, practice, and emotional support to improve his pronunciation. From the behaviorist perspective, Budi can benefit from regular pronunciation drills. For example, the teacher can use repetitions, activities, or minimal pairs practice like sheep and sheep to help him notice and produce the correct sounds. It's important that teacher gives positive feedback when Budi gets it right, so he feels encouraged instead of embarrassed. From the cognitivist view, Budi also needs help with how he processes sounds. The teacher can use visual aids like showing how to move the mouth or tongue, or using apps that give real-time feedback on pronunciation. This can help Budi connect what he hears with how he should say it. Besides that, I think the classroom environment really matters. The teacher can't Create a small group activities where Budi feels safer to speak, maybe with supportive peers. If he feels less judged, he might be more willing to try. Reflection. Budi case made me realize that pronunciation isn't just about practice, it's also about confidence and support. As a future teacher, I want to be more aware of my students' backgrounds and help them feel safe to speak. This case helped me connect what I learned in theory to what real students might face in class. Here are the references I used to support my analysis. They include articles on behaviorist and cognitive theories, as well as a journal from Universitas Diponegoro. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening. I hope this case reminds us that behind every pronunciation mistake, there's a learner who needs support, not judgment. Let's keep learning how to teach with empathy.